The sun has set. Little glowing bugs flit around in the sky above the crossroads, where a number of caravans have stopped for tomorrow's market. Syl, Millet, and Keller sit around a fire with a raccoon named Pierre, another skunk named Joel, and a few other people who have stopped in to hear Millet's story. Would you like
The
to?
chimes on my violin as I stroke it for the various notes as the battle between King Uther and Mudrid the Horrible comes to a final and terrible climax where King Uther slays his bastard son, but then takes a mortal wound in at the same time. Or was it just his heart breaking that this, his only real connection, ended in such tragedy? And I let the silence, speak volumes.
As that silence fills the air, Syl sees somebody out in the mushroom forest, and they turn to look at them, eyes glowing with reflected firelight, beckoning them.
Syl is following. But where Syl was sitting, Syl is 20 feet away now and walking.
The person continues further into the mushroom forest. You can see a naked tail swishing around behind them.
What
Long,
kind of tail?
a hairless tail. And they've got a long snout, and they stop in front of a cairn of stones.
Syl is going to pull a silver teacup out and begin drinking some tea as they walk up next to this mysterious figure.
You can see getting closer that they are a possum. And they say, "Do you have enough tea for two?"
Why, I do. And Syl reaches down and pulls out another silver teacup filled with tea from their belt and hands it to the possum.
The possum takes it and pours it out on the cairn. I hear you're looking for someone to tell you some truths.
I am. We can start with why you poured my tea out on the ground.
A sacrifice to the small and forgotten gods.
Some should remain forgotten. But yes, I am looking for truth.
Ask me a question.
Why should I ask you a question?
You may like the answer.
I found that answer to my previous question vague, but yes.
I knew you would.
I'm looking for something. What am I looking for?
You're looking for the end of the world. But you're not going to make it there.
Why not?
You don't have what it takes.
What do I need to make it to the end of the world?
I can't say exactly. The distant future is unclear, and I haven't met anybody who has gotten there.
But the end of the world has what I need to continue this journey in life.
I'm sorry, but you're not going to get there.
Well, you said I can't get there now. I don't have what it takes. So what does it take? What do I need?
Do you have a token? Have you gotten any tokens yet?
I don't think I've gotten any tokens yet.
Because you need to spend a token to defy them.
Oh. Oh.
Didn't you do something that got a token? I thought you followed one of your things.
Oh, I have twice said,
You got a bad feeling about this?
I've got a bad feeling about this. Does that give me
Does
tokens?
that give you a token? I don't think it
I don't think
does.
that gives me tokens. No, there's only one thing that gives me tokens.
I did trust her bad feeling when she said it, or they said it last.
That's very
Last
true.
time they said I said I trusted their bad feeling, and this is the bad feeling made manifest.
There we go.
I don't know if that counts. That's up to you.
I'm not sure about that.
Wait,
Okay.
yeah.
There are a couple ways you could get a token right now.
I thought there was only one way that I could get a token.
You can sacrifice to the old and forgotten gods.
You can give away something you hold dear.
Could I though? Could I?
As you contemplate this, I will turn to Cyril. Is Cyril big enough to pick up a coin?
Yes. I think Cyril is almost like if we were walking, talking anthropomorphic creatures, I think Cyril's like cat or small dog sized.
Okay. So I extend my hand because you're the person who requested the story, and I expect to be paid. Because you obviously want the raccoon who listened to my entire story. Did the raccoon like my story?
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be very clear that you paid and that this is the requested story. I made it very clear that this is not my voluntary action, but this is something that was for the benefit of the raccoon based on a patron. So
okay, here's something. We got to keep this equitable. But I want that back if we get to our destination safely. But for now, here. Drops a couple coins into Millet's hand.
okay. Well, I don't like taking money directly from you. I almost always want Cyril to bring it to me. Because
Cyril knows this, and Cyril chirps and grabs some coin, the coin, and brings it to Millet.
Okay. I almost forgetting my sadness for a moment because I love the lightning bug so much. I scratch it under its chin or appropriate part or between its wings, whichever it likes better, and then smile under my mask and hiding just for a briefest moment, and then slide the coins in, and then say to Cyril in my the native language of Camel Lost, he's never getting these back.
A well-known phrase in Camelot.
While that payment is transpiring, Syl is going to take from their belt a single pink orchid petal and hand it over.
Mm-hmm. And as you do, the possum takes it in her hand, and the air around her begins to swirl, and a little like swirl of dust and debris from the mushroom forest floor picks up, and when it goes away, she is gone, and there's just a light, a dancing light in that space, and you hear the echoing words, "Thank you, yes."
I look closer, and as I look closer, my shadow tries to run away.
Do you go catch it?
I believe it's still attached to me, but it moves. It moves of its own volition, so it's trying to get away while I'm trying to go closer to
I
this
think
light.
it tries to run away and gets caught in another shadow. And the light...
Is it attached to you based on the soles of your feet?
I would think based on whatever point it's attached to me that the light's reflecting from. It could be the soles of my feet. It could, if the light is coming from the down up, be upwards into the trees.
Does it have enough force to yank you like in a direction or knock you
It's
down.
gonna try. It's gonna try. I don't know. Does it yank me back a bit as I try to lean forward and understand this dancing light?
I think it feels like it does, but you know that it shouldn't. And knowing that it shouldn't means it doesn't.
Interesting. Okay.
And the dancing light, you can hear distant chimes somewhere, and it sort of floats away just a little bit towards that cairn, and you hear that echoing again, saying the thing, saying, well, you gave up something you hold dear, is that correct?
I did.
Okay. You get a token.
Boop.
That was the correct choice, my friend. You must give up your past to face the future.
And what part of my past must I give up?
The lies.
But I am a liar. I don't know that I
And
can
a
give up
cheat.
more. And a cheat.
You will continue to cheat. The future is very clear on that matter. But again, you will not reach the end of the world unless you make some changes.
And those changes are
I have already told you.
from lying. Giving up my past.
You giving up your token?
I did give up my token, yeah, I thought.
Okay. The light flashes brightly for a second, almost blinding you. The white fills this little clearing, this little meadow, and is gone. And you can see the firelight behind you from numerous fires in the crossroads.
I'm going to sit in the darkness for a little bit next to where the tea was spilled, just looking at it.
Meanwhile, at the fire,
I'm very tired. I've done 2 performances in short order, and Joel's gaze is oppressive. His mere presence is sucking the life out of me, not making eye contact with him. So I retreat completely into my giant cloak and my mask, keeping an eye out for whenever he's not looking at me so I can look at him. But almost snoozing off. I'm so tired. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Why'd you do this, Keller?
Pierre approaches Keller. That was a good story. Your friend seems tired.
Yeah, the stories do tire him out. But you liked it, huh?
Yeah, I think Mikey's going to do the next one. He's over
Great.
there. He knows lots of stuff. Points towards
Great.
a big one.
Oh, okay, great. I don't sleep too much. I love the night, so I'm gonna be hanging out, listening to stories until this fire burns out. Speaking of fires burning things, you own that caravan over there?
That one, yeah.
Someone mentioned that you might have some kind of particular, special, perhaps rare herbs used in incantations, prayers, that sort of stuff. Things a little strange. Am I talking to the right raccoon?
It's an incredibly roundabout way of saying you want some incense. Are you looking for something illegal?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's legal or illegal. I just know that it's the festival's not the festival. The
The market.
cart selling. Yeah,
It's a
the
market.
market. That's it. Okay, sure. Some markets can be festivals. But yeah, you guys aren't open yet. But I was wondering if I could perhaps take a look at your wares.
Uh, sure. There's another story. There's another story though.
How about after the story maybe?
Okay, yeah, okay. That's fine.
Yes,
Okay,
let's listen to the story first.
Oh,
all
you're
right,
back.
thank you very much.
Syl's just
Oh, I
there.
didn't see you there.
It's, yeah.
Millet is almost nodding off in his mask. And then he hears a voice from his left shoulder. Hey, that was a good story. Doing okay? You look tired.
Do I know who it is?
Do you look?
No, I'm very worried.
It's not one of
It's
your
first-
companions.
Yeah,
It
it's
is a
very, I
voice you
start
heard
with
today.
I start very practically. I'm always practical. Like, do I recognize his voice? Has Cyril learned to speak with the voice of an angel?
No, it is probably our skunky friend.
Not realizing it, my tail has escaped my cloak and without his noticing has touched some part of him that is close. And then I realize what has happened, and then I just say, yeah, I'm tired.
What do you need right now? Do you need help setting up camp or something?
Oh, a tent would be nice. I wish we had a tent. And I pull the cloak up over me. Like, obviously, I just sleep in this thing. Like, and I start to roll myself in a ball inside this tent. I'm like, the fire is an extravagance. Yeah. And I absolutely do not make eye contact with him. He's terrifying.
Mm-hmm. And you just
and beautiful, but mostly terrifying.
continue sitting there as the next storyteller comes up. You heard Pierre said that the next storyteller was supposed to be Mikey, a bighorn.
Okay, how close is Joel?
Uh,
Is he a respectful distance, or is he a flirtatious distance?
I think he's a respectful, flirtatious distance.
A respectful, flirtatious distance.
You can tell.
So not intruding
Joel,
on my...
Yeah. You can tell that he is aware that you are uncomfortable. And
he likes that, and he's a sadist. That's how this works.
So the Joel's one attribute is that he's caring. He can protect someone else from the world, and he can ask, "What do you need right now?" Those are the things that Joel can do. So I think that he is sitting next to you because he knows that maybe people make you uncomfortable, and he is I don't know. He's sitting there making sure that nobody makes you uncomfortable.
Except for him, who is
Except
the
for
person
him,
who makes me
you very
makes me the
uncomfortable.
most uncomfortable. My chance for a nap has obviously now completely evaporated. Now that I am terror stricken, that Joel is near me, like the anxiety of this person that was kind and beautiful in my presence has made me surly. But of course, I keep that all on the inside. I look to I'm looking for Cyril, of course, but I can't find him because he's probably happily doing bug stuff. So I'm looking to Keller, like, did you get what you wanted? Like, and Keller's the only person who can read my expressions under the mask. I'm like, look what you've done.
Yeah, I think Keller reads the expression and chooses to pretend that he does not notice, and turns and focuses on the story that's about to be told.
A rooster approaches. What when Syl was sitting next to the cairn where the tea was poured out, what was she, or sorry, what were they doing? What were they thinking?
They were thinking about old and forgotten gods and the things, betrayals that have happened in their life for them to get where they are. And that being them is the only thing they have left. Both a liar and a cheat. So, what would they be if they gave up their past? What would they be if they were no longer a liar?
As you were sitting there, you saw the spilled tea on the ground get soaked up as if one of the stones of the cairn was drinking it with a straw. And heading back to the fire, you see a rooster is getting ready to tell a story. And Pierre says, Gunther, Mikey was next. You don't... Mikey was next. And Gunther, the rooster, says, Oh, who needs Mikey? You all want to listen to Gunther. Everybody, look at me. And you all have to look at Gunther or give up a token.
I mutter, who does this guy think he is?
Oh,
He is the
Gunther at least is not Joel. I am happily looking at Gunther.
Is Keller looking at Gunther?
If I hadn't just said that I was to avoid eye contact with Millet, I would give up a token just to be like looking around. But since I said I was looking, I'm gonna look at Gunther.
Gunther is the fanciest rooster you've ever seen. Where everybody here is wearing very utilitarian clothes. Gunther is wearing like silk and velvet, and he's got this big poofy mane of feathers on top of his head, big white tail feathers out back.
Fancier?
What?
Is his belt fancier than mine?
His belt is the same belt as yours.
He stole my look. Go deeper into my hood.
And Gunther tells the story of the Pact of the Crossroad Shrine. Doug,
Doesn't
can you tell me a little bit about the Crossroad Shrine?
Does it have anything to do with where we are right now?
Yes, it does.
Oh.
The four of us are now going to make up the story that Gunther tells.
Okay.
Because we're all paying attention to it.
Oh,
Are we?
okay. Interesting.
You have well, we're all looking at Gunther. It was very glamorous.
The Pact of the Crossroad Shrine. Well, obviously it takes place in on a crossroad where a decision must be made. A decision about what direction must be followed. Is that enough to start the story? Or should you want more?
That works.
Okay.
So the Crossroad Shrine, two queens meet at the Crossroad Shrine, trying to make a decision on what the future of the kingdoms will be.
They want to choose a direction based on whether or not their kingdoms should go together or go in opposite directions, and they also refuse to give way to the other.
Mhm.
So they've decided to compromise in either going north or south together.
The compromise itself was its own crossroads, and they couldn't decide whether to go north or south together, and they never left.
And their kingdoms fell for ruin for their inability to come to a common ground.
The what have you got?
It's rumored that if you go near the crossroads, you can still hear them bickering back and forth. We should go north, for to the north is great riches. We should go south. To the south there is food for our kingdoms to be fed forever. No, but the north is where the glory lies. Ah, but the south is life, and it is there that there are two divots in the crossroads.
And as Gunther finishes up his story, he swishes the silky, velvety cape around his back, and spreads his wings like some hero, telling the story of the pact in the crossroads. He gives a big, elaborate bow. Not the story. Millet knows stories. This was no Camelot story. This was no. This wasn't great. But
yeah, it was
Gunther,
a question or a tale. Yeah.
He flourishes.
It's a proverb.
His
It's
bow.
not a story. It's a proverb.
Swishes his cape and moves off to the next fire. To meager applause.
I have a question. Yeah. I have a question for Keller.
Mm-hmm.
Has Keller figured out my one weakness, my one joy that I still have remaining? Music is something I do to exist. It's not exactly a joy. It's like breathing. Yeah.
I think all Keller knows is that it's the moments during the day of your interactions with Cyril seem to improve your mood. But other than that, I don't know if Keller has noticed, unless you think I should have noticed.
So you get to choose.
Okay. That's all that Keller has really noted during your travels together.
Okay. There's something that Cyril and I have in common that is a key hint to what my weakness is. The chink in my ever-present and terrible sadness.
Syl would take a stab at that.
Okay. Have you figured it out? I would find you even more contemptuous if you figured it out and Keller did not.
Syl has noticed, and we'll see very shortly, Syl has noticed Millet's almost desperation for attention.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You see it as an attention, desperate attention, and I feel like that is just the extension of performance.
Interesting.
Is it an affinity for nectar?
It's it's food related. It's food related.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it an affinity for sweet treats?
At the end
does.
Of
yes,
at the end of Gunther's performance, go for it.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Keller realizes now at this moment that Millet has a weakness for sweets, that it brings him actual joy in the most practical and quiet sort of way. And so Cyril, he will often at that moment share those treats with Cyril and so forth and whatnot.
I was going to do this before you said that, but as Gunther finishes up his story, Millet feels Joel leave, sitting beside him.
I sigh, huge sigh of relief, like, oh, I can go back to napping and all this kinds of stuff. And so the cloak comes back up.
In the spot that Joel left behind, there are a few little wrapped treats, those wrappers that you would see every once in a while scattered.
They're still wrapped?
They are still wrapped. Left purposefully.
Are they in the shape of a heart?
I don't think there are enough of them to be in the shape of a heart.
Why is he so cheap? This is why I will die alone. I make sure I look at I look in every direction so no one can see what that I'm interested in these sweets, and especially if Joel can't be looking. And then when that happens, my cloak goes over where those treats are, and then comes back, and there are no treats there.
Would you three like to describe the rest of the night?
Sure. Mikey's story is much better than Gunther's. Much, much better than Gunther's. And it hits all the right story beats. It's a story of heroics and redemption, and not necessarily good versus evil, but a good moral kind of runs through and pulls people through to the next day. It's beautiful in a very simplistic way and is met with much applause. Well, I was throwing it to you all, but sure, I'll take the applause.
I think Keller, after Gunther's story, walks over with Pierre, and Keller's gonna look over their stuff and gets a couple sticks of something, like kind of looks like a bundled, wrapped like sticks of sage that could be burned, and they're supposed to be used for ritualistic magic of some sort. Pierre is not really sure, and I think neither of them are sure if they really work or not. Do I need to spend a thing to get that?
No.
Okay. Yeah. I think Keller spends most of the rest of the night attending to the fires.
Keeping the place brightly lit.
Mm-hmm.
And Millet?
I only wake up when Keller is looking in my direction so I could shoot daggers into his heart with my eyes.
And Keller continues to focus on the fires and those.
And I watch my two friends, and I watch those around me. This ominous, foreboding feeling grows inside me.
I think as Syl is wandering, I would assume that at some point they wander.
Oh, they always wander. They end up many, many places where you would think they would not be.
They notice one particular caravan with a motif of pink orchids painted on the side.
They watch it.
The nights are cold this time of year. The three of you sort of do your own things around the fires, sleeping, watching, tending, and eventually morning rolls around. The early rays of dawn put Cyril right to sleep in Keller's pouch. The people of the caravans get up early, setting up their stalls, putting out the things that they sell, and people begin coming into the crossroads from the roads, from the north, south, and east and west. And before long, even just as the first rays of the sun come over the tops of the giant mushroom forest, people are shopping. There's everything for sale. You can smell food cooking, delicious scents waft from some of the fires that are still going. You see that pangolin with piles of dried herbs and spices and mushrooms and other things. You see Pierre has gotten out a variety of strange items from far and wide, curiosities, and every once in a while he sells a story as well. What does the day look like for the three of you? Are you just moving on right in the morning? Do you have things that you want to shop for? People you want to talk to?
No.
I'm still. Millet never has anyone he wants to talk to. That's why he's such a wet blanket.
Never, ever want to talk to anyone.
I'm still staring at the caravan with pink orchids. Is it there in the morning?
It is, yeah.
Are they up and around?
They are. It's Wanda.
Wanda. Well, while Wanda's distracted, I am going to, let's see. I'm assuming that I'm not supposed to be inside of that caravan,
No,
correct?
you're not.
I'm going to be there. Take a look around.
You're just sneaking in?
Yeah. I can always
Okay.
be somewhere that I'm not supposed to be.
It's true. You find a clean and orderly cabin. It is sparse. You, speaking with Wanda the night before, you sort of got the idea that she was very careful. She took her time with everything, and everything looking around this place, everything looks like it is meaningful. She doesn't have any junk. She doesn't have any stuff. Everything in here is either useful or personal. Is there something you're looking for?
I'm looking for some kind of reference or insignia of my old life.
You see a sword on the wall.
Connection. Okay.
The hilt of it is ornate with a flowery design.
Does it look similar to my pink orchid?
It does.
Would I recognize it as being anything like signifying some kind of rank?
How organized was the rebellion?
The rebellion was organized.
Yeah.
We were very close. We were the cause was true. We were close to our objective, and then something broke and it was blamed on me. I still don't know what broke.
The sword that you're looking at looks similar to ones you've seen ranking people in the rebellion carrying, but close inspection of it reveals that it is from the sister rebellion across the country.